Have you ever wondered what you'd do if life handed you a moment you weren't prepared for? It's not a pleasant thought, but it's a necessary one. Picture this. You wake up one morning the same way you always do. You brew your coffee, you feed the cat, you look out the window and take in the sunrise. Everything feels normal until it doesn't. What if today is the day your body whispers something it's never said before? What if your mind wavers when it usually stands strong? What if your heart or your spirit begins to ache in a way it never has? Would you know what to do? Would you know how to survive it? Better yet, how to grow through it? We don't like to think about these things. Most of us imagine we'll have time. Time to react, time to figure it out, time to prepare. But the truth? Life rarely gives us a warning shot, which is why what you do before those moments, the habits, the mindset, the wisdom you carry with you, can mean everything. And here's the best part. You don't need to be wealthy. You don't need to be a doctor. You don't need to know all the answers. You just need to listen, to learn, and to act with wisdom. Today, we're walking through 7 life-saving principles every senior should live by. Not just to survive, but to truly thrive after 60. These are practical, they're timeless, and they're rooted in stories, science, and soul. Stick with us, especially through the last few, because the final 2 are the ones that most people overlook, and they could be the reason you're still here tomorrow. Principle number 1, listen to the body before it starts screaming. Most people think when a health crisis happens, they'll know. The pain will be obvious, the signs unmistakable. But that's not how most bodies talk. They whisper before they ever shout. At 67, Martha had always prided herself on being active. She walked daily, ate clean, and laughed often. But something changed. She noticed she was sleeping longer, breathing just a little heavier on stairs, losing interest in her morning walks. She chalked it up to getting older, until one day she collapsed in the garden. Doctors told her later that her body had been warning her for weeks, through fatigue, shortness of breath, and a quiet, creeping disinterest in her favorite things. What's the lesson? Subtle changes are sacred clues, a shift in energy, a strange new ache, a persistent cough, a lack of appetite, foggy memory where clarity used to be. These are not nuisances, they're messages, and they deserve our attention. The key is not fear, it's awareness. Start a body log, 1 sentence a day. How you feel, how you moved, how you slept. Patterns emerge, warnings surface, because the body always speaks, and the wise learn to listen before it raises its voice. Principle number 2, call for help, even when you're used to doing it all yourself. There's a quiet strength many people over 60 carry, a lifetime of doing things on your own, of handling problems silently, of not wanting to bother anyone. But here's a truth that may surprise you. Real strength is knowing when to ask for help. At 72, Harold had lived alone for over a decade since his wife passed. He took pride in managing everything, from groceries to home repairs. But one cold morning, he felt a strange pressure in his chest while taking out the trash. His first instinct wasn't to call anyone. It was to sit down, wait it out, and hope it passed. Thankfully, a neighbor happened to notice something was off and called for help. Later in the hospital, the doctor told Harold plainly, "If that call had come 10 minutes later, you wouldn't be here to hear this. Let this be the wisdom you hold close. Never let pride cost you your life. Call your daughter, text your neighbor, press the emergency button on your phone. Let someone know, even if it feels silly, because it's not silly, it's survival. You've spent your life taking care of others. This season of life, it's okay to let others show up for you too. Set up your phone to make emergency calls with one touch. Put contact numbers on your fridge. Have a medical alert system if you live alone. These are not signs of weakness. They're the habits of someone who intends to be here longer." Let's keep going. The next one might surprise you. Principle number 3, keep the right tools within reach, not just in the medicine cabinet, but in your mind. Imagine this, you're feeling strange. Your heart's racing, your chest feels tight. You remember reading something about aspirin, but now you're panicking, and suddenly you can't remember where you put it. The drawer? The kitchen? The coat pocket? Now imagine a different version. You reach for the little case on your nightstand. Inside, a small pouch with aspirin, a list of medications, your medical ID card, right where it should be. That's the difference preparation makes. You see, survival isn't just about knowing what to do. It's about making it easy to do the right thing when everything around you feels like it's falling apart. At 69, Eleanor was always organized. She didn't like clutter, but her doctor once gave her advice she never forgot. When something happens, your brain won't be at its best, so make sure your environment is. That night, she created a simple emergency box, a spare phone charger, a bottle of aspirin, copies of her medical records, a list of current medications, her emergency contacts, a written note that said, "You've got this, breathe." When she had a mild heart episode 3 years later, that box gave her clarity, in time, in peace. So the lesson? Don't just prepare your body, prepare your space. And even more than that, prepare your mind. Practice calm breathing daily. Write down your emergency plan. Rehearse it once a month, like a fire drill for your future. Because when crisis strikes, the body reacts. But the mind, when ready, responds. We're only getting stronger from here. Let's move into something even deeper. Principle number 4. Stillness isn't laziness, it's strategy. You've likely spent your life on the move, fixing things, building things, solving problems, making sure others had what they needed, even if it meant putting yourself last. But there's a kind of wisdom that only age can bring, the ability to stop, to sit, to let the world spin while you stay centered. This isn't weakness. This isn't giving up. It's the act of choosing stillness in a moment when chaos wants you to run. James, 75, learned this the hard way. After feeling faint during a walk, he hurried to grab his wallet, phone, and keys before calling for help. In the middle of his rush, he collapsed on the kitchen floor. He survived, but only just. What did the paramedics tell him later? If you'd sat down the moment you felt it, your heart might have had a fighting chance to stabilize sooner. You see, adrenaline is a tricky thing. When panic hits, your body wants to move, fast. But fast movement increases oxygen demand. It strains your heart. It clouds your judgment. So the wisdom is this: stop moving before your heart has to stop working. When something doesn't feel right, sit in a sturdy chair. Lean your back against something solid. Keep your feet flat. Breathe slowly. Don't try to fix everything. Don't try to clean up. Don't try to get ready for the ambulance. Stillness is not inaction. Stillness is preparation. Let go of the guilt. Let go of the need to appear okay. Let go of the urge to manage the situation. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is do nothing at all and give your body a chance to survive. You're learning to sit with the moment. Now let's turn to something simple, but often forgotten. Principle number 5, make it easy for help to find you. You'd be surprised how many lives are lost, not because help didn't come in time, but because it couldn't get in. A locked front door, a confusing address, no one around to direct the paramedics. These tiny details can cost precious, irreversible minutes. At 78, Carol lived in a quiet cul-de-sac. She was fiercely independent and rarely asked for anything. But one day while folding laundry, she felt a sharp pain run through her left arm and up to her jaw. She managed to call 911, but forgot to unlock her door. By the time responders broke through the frame, 5 minutes had passed. It was enough time for her to slip into unconsciousness. She survived, but not without complications. After that, Carol made a few changes. She gave a spare key to a trusted neighbor. She added a key safe outside her front door. She put a note in her window. In emergency, use key code XXXX. She painted her house number in large digits visible from the street. Now, she says, I've made it as easy as possible for someone to save me, even if I can't speak. And that's the lesson. Don't just hope help will find you. Help you. Make sure your address is visible. Install motion-activated porch lights. Teach your loved ones how to access your home if needed. This isn't paranoia. This is preparation, and it's one more way you can protect yourself even when you're alone. You've just walked through 7 powerful principles, simple acts that can save your life, and maybe even someone else's. But knowledge alone isn't enough. Wisdom only becomes power when it's used. So here's what I invite you to do next. Checkmark. Take one step today. Set up your emergency contact. Move that aspirin where you can reach it. Practice your breathing. Just one thing, right now. Share this video with someone you love, because wisdom multiplies when it's shared, and you never know whose life it might touch. Subscribe and join our community. Here, we don't just talk about aging. We honor it. We grow through it, together. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this channel is your space for clarity, courage, and calm. And most of all, remember this. Even when you're alone, you're not powerless. You have tools, you have knowledge, you have a plan, and now you have a community that walks with you. Until next time, stay wise, stay ready, and stay alive.